Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today. Another amazing guide. Yes, I went there. This is the second part of my Mei guide series. I may make another one if there's one you want to see. The first one was all about her wall and how to use it to crowd control, split enemies up, and just wreck everything. I will link that at the end of this video for you to check out because I think that'll help you too. Also, we're going to link in the description and the comments our Twitter, which would be good for you guys to come and follow. It's where we'll post when we stream, when we post new videos, news, and just funny stuff and other things that we decide to tweet when we want to tweet them. So be sure to do that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So I want to go through Mei's ultimate and the best times to use it, but before I get into that, I actually want to talk about charging Mei's ultimate because it's actually very, very easy to charge. Now, if you've got a Roadhog on the enemy team, it makes your life even easier, but all you need to do with Mei to charge her ult is to just spam damage at people. You don't necessarily have to kill them. If you use her secondary fire, her icicle, there is about a half a second delay by the time it shoots, but it is a very, very fast shooting projectile, so it's quite easy to land on targets. Even at a fair distance, if the enemy's got like a Roadhog or a Zarya, very easy to hit them, and every time you do hit someone, you gain 8% ultimate or so. It does seem to be like 8 to 10%, it varies a little bit, but you can charge her ultimate very quickly, and you want to have it in as many situations as possible, and you want to save it to the end of as many situations as possible because it's a very good ult as a kind of last defense. So that's the first thing that I want to recommend, and that is saving Mei's ultimate until the end of a team fight, because the way that things happen now, there's just so many ults thrown in at once, and Mei's is very similar to someone such as Zarya's, who you'll also probably have on your team, and that's a crowd control ult, same as Reinhardt. Everyone gets knocked down or dragged towards or frozen, in Mei's case, in one specific position. So if a Zarya ult comes in and then you throw your Mei ult in, you're wasting it. However, if you wait for that, wait for all the ultimates to go, and then the enemy team are maybe having one final push or they've rezzed, you can then throw down your ult. It will freeze them all, and it's very, very good for being a solo ultimate. Now, there aren't that many in the game. Zarya's ult can sometimes, if she's fully charged, be okay for soloing, but generally it needs to be followed up. What's good about Mei's is that it does do some damage, freeze them in place, and everyone on the team then can just focus people standing still, and everything just dies very, very quickly. It definitely doesn't need to be coupled with another ultimate very often. The next thing I'm going to say, when things are frozen and they're in your ultimate and you've decided to get them into one place, you want to then choose who to target. If you've frozen healers, they should be your first target. So kill Mercy, Lucio, Zen. They need to go as soon as possible. Next, I would probably say someone like Zarya if she's fully charged. You do need to pick your targets very well. Zarya gets destroyed by Mei in most situations, in 1v1s and everything, because even if she uses a shield, as soon as it's gone, you can just freeze her. Couple of shots to the head, and she doesn't last very long. So Mei is a very, very good counter to Zarya as well. You pick these targets as well as you can, try and kill the healers, and then make your way through the other heroes that the enemy team has. One thing about this ultimate is that sometimes you can actually just use it specifically to get a couple of healers that you know are just stuck out on their own. It may sound like a waste of ultimate, but if you can kill the healers, the enemy team do need to back off, and you also gain another probably 40% by killing 2 or 3 people frozen in your ult. So again, you just keep rolling this ult over and over, and it builds up so quickly. So once you've used your ult, again, just keep spamming from a distance. Accuracy doesn't matter. It's not a stat. No one cares. I don't even think it shows for Mei. Keep spamming, doing as much chip damage as you can. In a lot of situations, you don't want to do that with a lot of characters, but with Mei it's okay, especially if the enemy team's got a Roadhog. He's so easy to hit, you just get your ult for free. So the best times to use it, other than trying to leave it till the end of a team fight, is of course to try and get it within an enemy team death ball. If you're playing catch point and they're all trying to capture it, you can then throw it into the middle of it and freeze everyone on sight. It's also very, very good for payload as well when everyone's bunched up. You of course want to get as many people as you can in this ultimate and never try to panic it. But what you really want to do, and this is harder to do, and I explained it a little bit in the wall guide, is that you want to try and put a wall behind the enemy team, or in the direction you think the enemy team will try and run away from your ult. This way, when you drop your ult, they try to run away, they're stuck, and they cannot get out. They all freeze in one position, they can't do anything. You can be extra mean on certain choke points where they're all coming up one way and I put the wall behind them. It isn't a perfect one, but it stops them running away and it manages to just freeze them and they can't get away. Putting down these walls behind them and then your ultimate is fantastic because their only option is to try and come past you, and generally you're going to be with your team as well, so they're just running into fire and they're not going to stand a chance. At the same time, they're freezing and taking damage, and this is a very, very mean but effective way to use this. It's very, very good. It's one of the best ultimates in the game, and what it does, same as a lot of Mei's kit, is it forces your team to focus fire. So if you split an enemy team with your wall with Mei, it forces your team to focus fire people because the rest of their enemy team are on the other side of the wall. If you just casually freeze someone as Mei, just her normal primary fire, it makes people focus them. And the ultimate is exactly the same way. You throw it down at the right times when your team's looking, and people will shoot the things in the ult because they're like, it's a free kill, so let's just shoot it, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that's the best ways to use it. You of course want to use it when people are bunched up, and you also want to use it if you can just get a few healers or a couple of healers and a tank, that's fine too. And you really want to try and save it to the end of the team fight. So all of your teams use your ults and you've rezzed, and the enemy team will use theirs, and all the team fights are over, because Mei's is one of the best solo ults in the game because she's not even vulnerable when she uses it. The only thing that really stops it is a D.Va defense matrix, and not that many people are using D.Va, so just make sure you freeze her first before dropping your ult. So the last thing I just want to mention quickly is bad timings. I want to show some on screen, some bad timings of when I've used it and why they're not so good. The main one though I have slightly mentioned already, and that is, say Zarya uses her ult, there's no point in throwing your crowd control ult into the same ult as well. I've done it multiple times where everyone spams their ult into Zarya's. It's the same thing, right? It drags everyone together in crowd controls and everyone thinks, oh my god, free kills, so everyone ults into it. This isn't just a Mei problem, this is an overall Overwatch problem. Try to keep your ults as much as you can for the next fight. So if Zarya's used her ult and then Hanzo's ulting into it, don't use your ult, save it, because they're all going to die. They're all going to die anyway, and if they don't, and most of them do, they still can't push and they've got to back away. You need to save Mei's ult, as I've mentioned many times, for as long as you possibly can. Other bad times to use it are if you're on your own completely. Sometimes you can solo carry if you can get that perfect wall up behind them, but if the enemy are about to take the point and you just throw your ult down in a panic, that rarely works either. And of course, you need to try and make sure that you can get it into a crowd of people that can't get away. There's no point in trying to throw it into a crowd of Winston, Genji and Tracer, because they're all going to zip out of there. And to be honest, if the enemy team had that comp, you'd probably want to change off of Mei anyway. So guys, I hope this helped. If I missed anything, the comment section is the place to go. There's been a lot more people subbed to us since I last did a video, so I hope you enjoyed it, and all feedback is appreciated. Don't forget to follow our Twitter and our live stream. We do both of these regularly now. They'll both be in the description and in the comment section down below. And don't forget to have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.